everyone. So, as I said, I normally do this at 7 p.m. It will be 7 p.m. your time, but I did promise my lovely husband, Xander, that we wouldn't work tonight so that we can have a bit of a date night. So I'm doing it this afternoon. So a little bit strange that it's earlier, but it will be up for you to do for 7 p.m. So I would normally give you a minute or so to get yourselves ready to go. I will still give you that time as you're not expecting this. So all you need is a mat. I have a little bit of water in case I need it. So I will give everybody a moment or two to do that. Remember, you can pop a little bit of music on if you would like. Just something nice and slow. And there's a lot of talking in this class. I'll just move back so I have to bend down. A lot of talking today, as always, so just make sure that you can hear me. Make sure that set up. Okay, so anybody joining us now, all you need is a mat. You might want a bit of water. So today's class, we're going to continue with all the great work we've been doing. So that kind of internal strength, the working on using your pelvic floor to lift, everything that we've been working on so far. But instead of just opening in the hips, I'm going to add some strength in today. So don't be afraid. Today is a little bit more strength-based than we have been doing, but there's still lots of flexibility moments, still lots of work through the spine. And you're still going to continue with your breathing. So that 3D breath. So when you breathe in, you're feeling your belly expand, rib cage expand, and as you breathe out, that small contraction. So thinking about lifting up through your pelvic floor. So as you breathe in, air travels down, belly expands. As you breathe out, breath travels up and then out through the nose and the mouth. Today we're going to start on all fours. So knees underneath the hip points, hands underneath the shoulders. And we're going to go straight away for a cat-cow. So belly goes down, chest comes up. And then think about a black Halloween cat as you bring your spine up and then nose towards spine. So breathe in to come down. Breathe out to come up and really feel that articulation through your spine. Breathe in to come down. And then breathe out to come up. Good. If you haven't already, get your nose involved. So feeling that through the neck. And when you're in this position, you're going to make sure the fronts of your elbow creases are shining forwards. Good. Deep breaths. One more. Just waking up through the spine. Okay, you're going to find that strong tabletop position. So remember, it's like sucking your belly button up towards the spine, really pushing away from the mat. You're going to extend through your right toes. You're going to do a semicircle off behind towards the left. Squeeze the right knee in behind the left knee. Feel that stretch through the right side of the body and the compression in the left hip. And then draw a big semicircle with your big toe out as far as you can go to the right. Again, feeling the stretch through the left, the compression through the right hip. Now add in the breath. Breathe in as you can. Tuck behind. And then breathe out as you slide your foot around and extend. So So in your own time with your breath, try and keep equal weight between the palms. Waking up a little bit through the core. We're going to do one more. Good. Come to center. You're going to curl the toes under and walk the hands up to the tops of the thighs. Breathe in, loop the shoulders forward, up, and back. Feel that opening through the chest. Now, if this is too much of a stretch through the fascia of the foot, just going to come and create a bit of space between your bum and your heels. So we're stretching through the feet, really broad through the chest, squeezing your shoulders together. So imagine you're squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. And breathe here. Okay, walk it back out to tabletop. So find that good, strong position. And we're going to do the other side. So left toes are going to slide behind the right knee, really squeeze it up. And then breathe out. You're going to come all the way over to the left. Breathe in, come around, squeeze it up. And then breathe out. Wherever you go. So again, in your own time. Now really think about widening your fingers. So really spread your fingers. Fronts of the elbow creases shine towards the front of your room. Keep this going. You're going to do one more. Add your weight to your midline. And out. Okay, come back to center. You're going to walk your hands back up towards the tops of the thighs. Feet are curled under, so same position as again, but this time we're going to do some wrist circles. So you're going to bring the backs of your hands together as you do your wrist circles. Should feel really good wrist relief here. Good if you've been on your hands a bit more than normal. Giving yourself a bit of massage. Go the opposite way. Good. So we're going to come to that extended child pose position with our legs. So toes come together, knees nice and wide. And you're going to do a few cat cows here. So breathe in. Really stick your bum up. Breathe out. Curl it under. Now, you know this. We've just done it. I want you to try and find kind of a little bit of freedom, whatever feels good. So for me, it's kind of rocking as I do it. And get a little bit weird. Okay. Now, next time you come through to cow, you're going to bring your hips down. Then walk all the way up. Come down, extended child's pose. Breathe in. Come down. You might not get as far as me. Big opening through the hips. Breathe out, extended child's pose. Really reach your fingertips forward. So move in time now with your breath. Being mindful of the knees. So if you've got any fluffiness in the knees, you can come and do this in that tabletop position. Good, we're going to do one more. Okay, come to that neutral spine position. If you're fine here with your knees out wide, toes together, do that. And we're going to walk off to the right side of our mat, keeping our hips where they are, walking the hands around as far as you can go, and then reaching forward. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, round over, feeling that really big stretch down the left side. Big breaths here. You're really feeling the skin of the back stretch. Breathe out, come to center. You're going to do the same thing now, but off to the left. So walk your hands around as far as you can go, and then out a little bit. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, round over. Really feel that stretch. One more breath. Breathe out, walk it back to center. And then we're just going to come any way you like to lie on our side. So it doesn't matter which leg we go with first. You're going to come to lying on your side, feet, toes pointing forwards. The flat edge of this foot is really digging into the floor. Now, to support the head, you can kind of create a little, it just reminds me of like being on a beach in this position, or you can lie flat out on the hand, whatever suits you. So really strong, and you're thinking about a straight line from your head to your feet. So straight line, really digging this hip point into the floor. Hand is in front of you to help with the stability. So, as I said, we're really working now, not only just on the flexibility and the opening through the hips, but the strength through all the muscles around the hip joint, which also includes somewhat of our glutes. Hip flexor, psoas, there's so many little muscles around there that we kind of tend to ignore. So first of all, you're just going to create kind of that semicircle as big as you can. So you're coming forward and then back. Now I'm trying to keep my upper body as still as I can, but obviously this will move. So back and forward. Now this move might be a lot smaller for you. So here we're just waking everything up. Good, nice deep breaths here. Also working, as I said, it engages some of the glutes. It's also going to engage the inner and outer thigh. So you have to remember that everything here is connected. Really strong through the bottom leg. That's our stability leg. Good. A little bit longer. Keep that breathing going. Okay, come down. You may have done these in other classes with me. You're going to breathe in, toes come up, breathe out, heel drives down. Breathe in, breathe out. So really thinking about trying to be like a ballerina with your feet. I know that's harder for some of us to imagine. You guys know that I'm not the most graceful of people. But really try and be here. Good. Now, if you're getting any sort of clicking with any of these moves we're doing in your hip, that's okay, as long as there's not any pain or discomfort. If there is, just make every move smaller. So now you should be feeling this around the top of your hip. Breathe. We're bringing a little bit more Pilates in today. So, you know, this is kind of my mix of all the mobility stuff that I love doing with yoga and Pilates elements in. A little bit longer. Okay, now we're going to draw a circle with this leg. So same leg, point your toes. This move should be really difficult for you. So challenge yourself by drawing your circle as wide as you can, as long as you're stable on the mat. It's also going to recruit the side body here. So up through this hip flexor into the oblique. Point your toe. Reverse, so go the opposite way. Oh, I feel this now. It's getting hard to keep my circle big. Keep it going. Just going to do a few more. Last one. Ooh, good. Now squeeze that knee in. Bring the foot flat. So you should be feeling a good release now through the side of the glute, through the hip. Just breathe here. Make sure your ears are relaxed away. Sorry, your shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Remember, anytime you can come down to lay on your arm. Breathe here. Okay, from here, again, you may have done this with me before. You're going to kick out with the heel, point the toe, breathe in, squeeze the knee up. So we're definitely getting glute med work here, so the center of our bottom. We're not going to do many of these here, so really squeeze, feel that flexion in your ankle and your foot. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bring that foot on top. Everybody now, you're going to stretch out. Breathe in, bring the top hand up. Breathe out, squeeze it up. Breathe in, come out. Breathe out, squeeze it up. So this is called a truck driver, and I think it's because in my head, it's like with this hand that I'm squeezing my horn. So now you've got it, speed it up a little bit and really think about driving your elbow back. Getting a bit of core strength here. Again, remember this is all connected. So we're working down the outside through the oblique, down through the hip flexor. Good, keep it going. Deep breaths. If I was with you, I should be able to hear that exhale. Okay, lay it out long. I should have probably moved my footstool. Now, you're going to move your legs up off the mat. So my bottom leg is coming off the mat as well. Again, we're strengthening. If this is too much for you, bring your hand back to your side. I know I can feel this now. Also, if you've rolled over, no worries. This is a challenge for you. Three, 2, 1. Okay, you're going to roll onto your bellies. Come up. And we're going to take that child's pose, but this time feet together, arch to arch together. Bum back. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out. Forehead comes to the mat. Really actively reaching your hands forward. Again, return back to the breath here. that 3D breathing. So with your legs close to you, you should be feeling the expansion and contraction through your center. Okay, one more. Good. So we're going to come to the side again. So opposite way. So remember thinking about a nice long straight line from your head all the way to your feet. And really piking that bottom foot down. So my toes are flexed forward, hand in front of the chest for stability. So first, we're going to go through that semicircle. So it's like a U shape. Good. So this is a nice little activator for us. And remember, I always say this, everything will feel really different from one side to the other. So be mindful of that. I think we use, especially as trainers, we're very quick. See, I wasn't piking, I wobbled. We're very quick to say to people, oh, you've got really weak hip flexors. And actually, the area around the hip, yeah, it might be weak, but it also might be tight, which may be why it appears to be weak. Actually, it's more likely to be tight, and there is a weakness somewhere else around that chain. So like I said, it's already connected from your obliques, that muscle through to the hip flexor, around the glute area, thigh, inner thigh, all connects. So when we say to clients, to class members, oh, you've got really tight or weak hip flexors, you tend to really focus on that, and actually that's not where the issue is. Okay, now we're going to draw circles, doesn't matter which way you go. Nice big circles. Remember, as big as you can control. If you're finding any clicking, as long as there's no pain, that's okay. If there is, just make it smaller. Keep it going. Good. Now we're going to reverse that circle. Hand is there to stabilize us. Core is engaged. Good. The side, I find the circle is much harder to keep big. Keep the breathing. We're going to do one more circle. Okay, down for a quick rest. Make sure that so I've kind of ended up rounding a bit. We're nice and tall. Breathe in, point the toe. Breathe out, heel comes down. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember, yours might not go as high up as mine. All is good. Keep it going. Now, as with most things, the second side is harder because we used it to stabilize us on the first side. So keep it going. And keep the face nice and relaxed. Keep that going. We're going to do 3 more. 2. Last one. Good. Bring that knee in. Bring the foot down. Feel that release through the glute, definitely. You can take a little rest. Big breath in through the nose. Breathe out. Okay, we're going to point the toes, kick out through the heel. Breathe in, point the toe, bring it back up. Breathe out, kick it out through the heel. Good, and when I'm kicking out, I'm also thinking about kicking kind of backwards as well as just out. Keep that going. So I know this class is a little bit more strength than we have put in previous weeks, which have had a bigger focus on the mobility and the stretch, but stick with me. You're going to do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down on top of the other foot. Everybody stretch out. Truck driver. Breathe in. Breathe out. Squeeze it in. Breathe in as we come down. Breathe out. Squeeze it in. So again, I'm thinking about driving my elbow back to the outside of that leg, to the glute. Again, you might not come up as high as me. Feeling that strong side body. We've been doing a lot of work here. Five, 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay, stretch out. We're bringing bottom leg and top leg up. Remember, if this is too much for you, bring the hand back in front. This one, super challenging. So if this is a real struggle for you, do 1, have a rest. Remember, you might be rocking all over the place. This is all fine. I'm trying to make sure this is challenging for everyone. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. 1, you're going to roll onto your belly. Bring your hands in line with the chest. Make sure the tops of the feet are pushed into the floor. Breathe in. Come up. Find that stretch through the belly. If there's any kind of pulling in the lower back, just come down a little bit. Maybe shine the fronts of the elbow creases forward. Come down. Good, so I'm just going to take a little sip of water. Feel free to join me. If not, you can go up to downward facing dog. Which is where we will all meet. So hands are a little bit further in front of us than they would be in tabletop position. Curl the toes under, lift up from the base of the spine. And here, you're going to pedal it out through the feet. So 1 foot down, really bend the other, then pedal through. With the hands, you're imagining you're opening 2 bottles in the opposite direction, and that's going to force the bicep to come in, which we want around towards our ears. So lots to think about here. Waking up through the hamstrings. Okay, breathe in, slide the sole of the right foot up. Breathe out, you're going to bring it up and over to kiss the right elbow. Breathe in, kick it back. Breathe out, up and over. Remember, you can lower this back knee. Breathe in, last one. Breathe out, up and over to kiss. Hovering, upper body's in plank. 3, 2, 1, step that foot up. We're lowering onto the back knee. Low lunge. Make sure the knee is in line with the ankle. Come right onto the fingertips. Breathe in and out here. Back foot can be curled under or flat. Okay. Really squeeze legs into the center. Breathe in, fingertips come forward and up. Now here, I talk about it all the time. You're imagining you're squeezing the front edge and the back edge of the mat together. So really engage, squeeze up through the pelvic floor. Now I want you to sink really low into this front knee. So if this stretch is too much in the left hip, just bring your back knee in a little bit. So we're breathing here. We're still thinking about lifting up. Now bring your right elbow onto the top of the left thigh. You're going to breathe in, reach left fingertips forward and back to look towards the back edge of the mat. You might be good here. Breathe in. If not, breathe out and bring the back foot up and catch the back of the left foot. Come back to looking forward if you're here. And we're going to get a bit of a quad stretch here. So not only are we stretching through the hip flexor, we're also stretching through the quad. You can flip your grip on that back foot. That feels better for you. If not, we're just here stretching. So options. We're not going to be here for too much longer. 3, 2, 1. Bring that foot down slowly. Hands are going to come both in towards the left side of your mat. You're going to walk your right foot out. Toes are pointing out. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out. You might be happy here, or you're going to come up onto the back toes. So the lizard pose. We've been doing it in a restorative position here. We're now going to come up onto the back toes, really pushing that back heel back. You might be happy here. If you want a little bit more, you're going to come down onto the elbows. Forearms are parallel to each other. Keep breathing. So if you're finding you can't breathe here, come back up onto the hands. One more breath. Breathe out. If you're on your elbows, come onto your hands. We're going to turn, so you're going to see the back of me. You're going to turn your toes into center and then come to bend through the left leg. So low kind of Cossack squat position here. I'm just going to turn so you can see me. So I cannot get this heel down. If you can, great, good for you. So if you are like me and that heel is up, perfect. We're all feeling different things. I will never get this foot down. Because of the ankle surgery I had, I just don't have that. There's a big brace in my ankle which stops that movement. This foot will go down, but that did take me sort of 4 or 5 years, so all good. Now, really drive navel up to the spine. You're going to use your hands for this first one. Stay nice and low. You're going to come over to the other side. Really breathing, feeling that stretch through the inner thigh. That toe pointed up to the ceiling. Use your hands. We're going to go to the other side. So I'm staying nice and low. Good. Now, if you feel good here, bring your hands to your heart. Really important here that we're lifting up through the pelvis and engaging. So I'm growing taller. Now, hands can be back on the mat, or you're going to keep your hands at your heart as you come through over to the other side. Good, staying low, moving at your own time. Remember your breath. We're going to do one more to get back to the front of the mat. Good. Now bring your hands down. Pivot on the back foot. Both toes are facing forward. Plant your palms. Step it back to plank. You can come onto your knees or breathe in. Come onto the tippy toes. Look forward. Breathe out. Slowly lower down. Elbows squeezing back into our sides as slow as you can go. Come down to the belly. Breathe in, baby cobra, look down. Breathe out. Breathe in, curl the toes under, lift the knees, tone the quads. Breathe out, come up to plank or tabletop. Breathe in, downward facing dog. Breathe out. So we're going to rest in downward facing dog. This is too much for you, come to a child's pose. I'll lift myself back ground. Breathe here. Let some of that heat go. Big exhale out. So it's like I'm trying to fog a window up with my breath. Remember, you're in the comfort of your own home, so don't be ashamed, don't be afraid. Good. So same thing on the other side. Breathe in, slide the sole of the left foot up. Breathe out, think up and over to left. Breathe in, kick it out. Breathe out, up and over, knees squeezes into elbow. Breathe in, kick it back. Breathe out, squeeze, up and over. Pausing in plank, 3, 2, 1. Step it up. Come up, down onto the back foot. Remember, toes can be curled under or foot flat down. So come right onto the fingertips. Knee in line with the ankle. I'm really squeezing my legs together. That's going to pull me back a little bit through the left hip crease. Okay. Breathe in, fingertips going to come forward and up. Breathe out. Now think about that scissoring, front edge of the mat, back edge of the mat together. Oh, I'm feeling a big opening through this side, through my hip. So different side to side. Okay, breathe in, look up. Breathe out, sink into that front knee. This is too much for you, bring the back knee in. I'm going to do that myself. Okay, left elbow comes down to the left thigh. Breathe in, fingertips come forward and back, looking towards the back edge of your mat, getting a good stretch through the chest, if nothing else. Okay, breathe in. Breathe out. If you can, lift the back toes. Grab onto your foot. Come back to center. So remember, this will feel very different. For me on this side, this is really intense today. So come back to my breath. You can swap grips on the back foot. About pulling back through the left hip crease. One more breath. On the exhale, release the back foot with control. Both hands are going to come down to the mat, to the right side. You're going to walk your left foot out a little bit. Toes are pointing out to about a 45-degree angle. Breathe in, breathe out. If you can, you're going to come up onto that back foot. So here again, you should really be feeling your belly expanding, and that should touch your left leg. Really push your back heel back. Remember, you can come down onto your forearms if that feels good for you. It's too intense for me on this side. Make sure you're pushing it back. Remember, any knee. Good. Now we're going to turn both feet forward, turning to the center of our mat. You're going to stay where you are in the center. Make sure your feet are nice and wide. Toes are pointing in slightly. So we're in extended forward fold. Really try and bring the crown of the head down. Wherever it comes is fine. If your hands are flat on the floor, walk them back in line with the arches of your feet. You're squeezing your elbows in towards the shoulders. Pushing through the outside of the foot. The outside of the foot should feel engaged with the floor. Okay, now breathe in. You're going to walk the fingertips forward as far as you can. Breathe out. Think about downward facing dog here. Now, if your hands don't come up, fingertips are up off the mat, fine. If you can't even get your fingertips down, that's great. You can bring some blocks next time or some books and hold on to those. Okay, now walk them back as far as they'll go. Now make sure your fingertips are facing forward. And think about cat here. So really trying to squeeze your nose towards your belly button. If you're here with your hands on the floor, this might be an opportunity to try and get your crown, the crown of the head down to the mat. One more time, breathe in, come forward with the hands. Look forward, breathe out, think about downward facing dog. The legs are starting to shake a little bit here. Breathe in, you're going to walk your hands back. Breathe out, think cat pose. So squeeze belly button up, you're trying to round over. Okay, bend the knees softly. You're going to turn to face the front of your mat again, so feet pivot. Okay, step it back to plank or to all fours. Breathe in, rock onto the tippy-tip toes. Breathe out, lower down as slow as you can go. So upper body strength here. Slow, slow, slow. Breathe in, come onto the tops of the feet. Baby cobra. You feel no pinching in your back here. Look down. Breathe out. Breathe in, make your way to downward facing dog on the breath out. Pedal through the feet. Now try to keep the hands where they are. We're going to cross the feet over. Really think about that articulation, toes towards the toes, roll into the heels as you step up. If you need to move your hands at any point, absolutely fine. Try and challenge yourself by keeping your palms down. Coming to the top of your mat. Today, try and squeeze your feet together. Forward fold. Knees can be bent as generously as you like here. Let the weight of the head hang over. Now grab opposite elbows. I'm just going to rock gently side to side, really squeezing through the legs to stability. Breathe in, slide the hands to the tops of the thighs. Breathe out, think about that flat back. Elbows squeezing in. Breathe in, come down. Breathe out, we're going up again. Breathe in, loop the shoulders. Breathe out, push away. One more, breathe in, come down. Breathe out, slide the hands up. Breathe in, loop through the shoulders. Breathe out, push away. Breathe in, come down. I'm going to walk myself back a little bit. You're going to step your hands underneath your feet. If you feel a bit unstable here, just widen your feet. Come about shoulder width apart. Gently rock forward and back. Really small movement here. You don't want to roll over. So some of us are going to feel that as a big release through the wrists. The rest of us will be feeling it through the backs of the legs, or you're going to be feeling it both ways. So gentle rock forward and back. You might also wriggle your toes, feel that kind of release in the base of the palm. Kind of really good if you get carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, good. So release that. You're going to walk your feet nice and wide as your mat. Toes are going to point out. Now, from here, we're going to slowly roll up first. Nice and tall through the spine. Breathe in, bend the knees. Reach fingertips up. Breathe out. Bring your palms down to your heart. Actively push your palms together, elbows out. Now with my tailbone, I'm thinking about tucking it under. So I go from kind of this default position. So tucking my tailbone under. It's almost like I'm trying to bring the fronts of the hip creases all the way forward and up. So just breathe here. Think about that engagement through the pelvic floor. So lifting up through there, whatever that means to you. It's going to help us. So last week, I did a bit of a crow demonstration for you guys. And none of you were like, oh, this is amazing. I can't do this. We're going to have a play with that today. But there is no pressure. This is just a bit of fun. So you can stay in a low squat. You can join me. You may fall. This is all good. What might be useful is a yoga block. So I'll get mine to demonstrate. Or some books. It's very handy that I have it really close to me. I'll grab it for there. So back to this position, thinking about lifting up. All of the work we have done today has led us up to this. Core strength, hip strength, engagement. So imagine you're squeezed between two planes of glass. You can't go forward, you can't go back. The only way you can go is down. Breathe in, think tall. Breathe out, knees come out, tracking the big toes. Coming down at any point. The toes, no, the heels. The heels come up, that is all good. Coming down. So you play with, if you're not comfortable there, widening or bringing your feet in a little bit. Like I said, you might be up on the toes. If you are, bring your hands down. You're here, really squeeze the arms out, squeeze your legs into your arms. Think about growing tall through the chest. So we are here if you want to be. If not, we're going to have a little go playing in crow. I'm going to tell myself so I'm facing the front of my mat. If you have a book or blocks, it's kind of nice to try this from here. So you'll put your feet on your books or block, coming into kind of bending your knees. My feet are really close together, so my toes are almost touching. You're going to walk your hands out a little bit. Now, fingers are really spreading wide, coming up. And I'm thinking about my knees coming in towards my armpits. So I just want you to have a little play with this, rocking front and back, coming really light on the toes. This is nothing to do with arm strength. This is all about core strength. So you may rock and think, okay, I can do this. And lift one toe up. Bring it down. Lift the other. Bring it down. Come back. Have little breaks where you need to. You've not got a block. It's all going to look the same. How? You might feel, okay, I think I've got this. I've done one toe, then the other. Really important, most important thing, you're looking forward. If you don't look forward, you're going to roll over. So planting the palms down, coming forward, thinking knees into the armpits, rocking forward, coming up onto the toes. I'm looking forward. And then I'm going to bring my toes up. So you're just playing. You might not be here for long at all. You might hold it for a second, come down. It is all core strength, I promise. Just something to play with. We're going to do 10 seconds wherever we are. Just playing. And down. Good. So, everybody, we are going to come into cow legs. So we're winding it down now. So come onto your knees. We're just going to sit back, come onto one bum cheek and cross one foot over. I'll turn to face you. So you might be really good here. If you are, try and push the whole of this foot down onto the mat, knees up. If you want a little bit more, you're going to kind of walk your foot back. Now, I cannot get my knees in line, but that's the action that we're trying to walk towards. Walk towards, work towards. So, outer edge of the feet really bright. I'm pointing my toes, active. So, the bottom edge of my foot is on the mat. You're going to breathe in, think really tall. Breathe out. If you want, come down, draping chest over. So breathe in and out here. Big release through the hips now. So keep breathing. And you might just be up here and pop your hands on the soles of your feet or one foot up. Really trying to work on keeping the whole of this foot engaged. Lots of options here. Okay, wherever you are, walk your way up. Your feet are going to stay exactly where they are. You're going to walk your palms out and start walking them over. We're going to do 360 degrees, leaving our feet where they are, and then we should come back with the knees the opposite way around. So feet are exactly where they are. Turning, walking your hands around, we're coming 360 degrees back and down. Toes pointed the whole time. So you might have to do a little rejiggle. Again, feels super different on this side for me. It's really, I'm feeling it in my hip. Pushing down the outer edges of our feet. Toes bright. Breathe in, fingertips forward. And down if you like. Breathe here. One more breath. Breathe out. Walk the hands up. You're just going to kind of come back onto the bum cheeks. And we're just going to cross one foot over the top, just finding a bit of release now through the hip. So you can walk the bum closer to your ankles if that's good. Do a little gentle rock side to side, sorry. Fingertips are facing towards your toes. Now the swapsy. Really good work today, guys. That was a toughie. I hope you enjoyed a bit of crow playtime. I did not put that in there for you guys to master, just for you to try and play, maybe learn something new. Good. And we are done. So good work. So I'm sorry that I'm not exactly with you live, but I hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments, questions below. Remember to subscribe. All of my content is free, but it would be really great if you could afford to donate to my small business. You can do that. I have a PayPal link on my Instagram account. You can also do it through the Please Fitness website. But I will see you on Thursday for full body strength at 7:30, live on YouTube, definitely live, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.